supposed to do that at the beginning, but I get so wrapped up in this incredible episode that I just. But we'll talk about that later.
More people will see that ad now that
Yeah,
you've got the cold open.
Yeah, the cold open's in there, and now let's talk.
Get some ready.
Yeah. Anyway, can you believe that Adult Swim is paying us to promote Rick and Morty?
What is
I
that?
can.
We'll talk about it later. It's one of the best shows on television. It's unbelievable. It's so great. But at any rate, you were talking about a fish?
Oh yeah, it was a fish, not the fake willy that I had in the
Lutefisk.
back of the truck.
Have you tried it? I've never.
Yeah,
tasted it.
it's actually not very good.
That's what I've
I
heard.
mean,
What is it?
but
fermented
it's
herring.
Herring, yeah,
Oh,
it's
doesn't it
pickled
taste
herring. Yeah, it's
Are you
a
Nordic?
well, the social justice warriors seem to think I'm Nordic. They think I'm from the northern part of Norway, and because there are brown Norwegians in the northern part of Norway, but no,
There's a conspiracy theory that you're from Norway
that's what
because
they
they want you to be white.
They want me to be, and last time I checked, I'm not. And I won't go any farther than that. I mean, there's a lady in the house.
What is your background?
It's Mexican American. Grandparents are from Mexico, and my mom on my mom's side, I got the German and the Native American.
Wow.
And it was always funny. We'd be around our grandma, who was dark skinned. I got my mom's eyes, grandma's eyes, and tell you, my grandma used to be called different names back in the 60s and 70s, and she would throw a fit. Oh my God.
Wait, your grandma was what ethnicity?
Native American.
Okay.
And she was dark, and Grandpa was this tall German guy,
Hmm.
and she would get called different. We don't serve people who look like you. And she says, she's like yay tall, like 5 feet, 6 feet, 5 foot tall, and she would just snap. She'd say, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" So I'll kick your, you know, I don't want to swear because I
You can
know the
swear.
kids.
Yeah, you-
The kids, I don't want to. Well, you know, you
Fuck
kick your
the kids.
kick your.
You know what's funny?
She did swear. Granny was a mouthy piece of work.
I find it pretty interesting that your family actually faced real, like the Native Americans. Talk about a group of people who got absolutely fucked over harder than anyone, and here, they're like they want you to be sweet or like Norwegian.
Well, it's because I'm educated, and our grandma on the Mexican side, she'd always say, English around the babies, no español, no español," and she was really adamant about it. And our aunts and uncles would be speaking Spanish. She'd cut them off and say, "Education, education, English." So in high school, I took Japanese. Adios, stay Muscat. Oh yeah, each Nissan Chico Roxy Tachikuchu. Not you. That's 10 in
that was
Japanese.
kawaii as fuck.
Yeah, no, that's Nihongo, Japanese.
Wait, we all thought that Humongous was totally adorable, but now you're kawaii to new levels. Do you know what kawaii is?
That's
It's adorable.
oh, quite yeah.
Well, oh my god, I didn't have that accent
I can
right.
already see.
Os.
I love it. You're truly Mr. International.
Well, I try to be. You know, but people go to me, "Why don't you go to Mexico?" I said, "Well, my in-laws on the Michoacan Restaurante right there in Crown Hill. If I go there, that's Mexico. Why don't you go to Greece?" Well, Tati's mad Greek. You know, they're Greece. They're Greek. And they have the belly dancers on Friday nights, and I go rolling in. "Oh, Rudy, sit down and have some dry, rolling in some lamb." And I'm sitting there, and then and it's just killer. I mean, just how exciting.
Why isn't this podcast there? This place sounds
We should be in
amazing.
Seattle. How do you like Seattle? Like, everyone who's been there tells me it's such an incredible place.
It's absolutely incredible place. There's 30 minutes from the mountains, right next to the water. The only problem is we've got a lot of outsiders coming in and telling somebody like me who's 53 years old that grew up in Seattle how to act and behave. And especially when it was, I swear to God, I have to make this clear. That 30-something-year-old female that jumped my ass
We don't
at
say her
City
name.
Hall, she, I'm not saying her name, but she jumped my ass, and she needed to know respect for the elders. I mean, I would not do that to her, but where she came off, everything in my power not to call her.
Well, you handled yourself with grace. But I want to get into that. I find the whole thing really interesting. You grew up in Seattle. you were there your whole life pretty much, right?
Yeah, pretty yes.
And so these people like Zarna, can we say her name?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like spooky. They're gonna fly in here on a broomstick like in Harry Potter or some shit, like Lord Voldemort.
Is that how she
Shooting
plays
place up.
Seattle?
It may be.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
But you're saying they came, like, do you know where she's from? How long she was there?
you know, I don't know. I'd never seen her. I had to look up social justice warrior. I mean, that's how dumb I was. I mean, so I look up social justice warrior and go, oh, what's that? She's what? I mean, I had to actually figure this stuff out with a flip phone. So anyway, I mean, I had a flip phone. I mean, I was like, I didn't even see any videos until like a week later. And that day that I left, it was already on CBS radio, and I hadn't heard that either. I'm asking what's going on, and then I get a call from the Yemens, the Arabs in Buffalo. Hey, Ruta, man, you're famous. I said, what are you talking about? He said, World Star Hip Hop, man. World Star Hip Hop. I said, what's that? I'll send you a link. And so I got this looking at my flip phone, and I'm going, well, I got something, but I'm not sure how to turn it on. Now I do. Humongous forced me to change in so many ways. It was a gift. How I came here was a gift. I don't even question it.
Well, one of my questions for you too is like you become like the legend of Humongous, and I'm really curious how like that becoming like that new person of like Humongous has affected your life, because I've seen like on our subreddit you're participating in like school plays. They're making school plays about you. You're running for city council, and you're almost like this mythical figure, it seems like, around Seattle. And I'm really curious, how much did this whole ordeal change your life?
I think when it hit me right away, it goes back to the 90s when we stuck Fake Willie and the Ballard Locks to scare the sea lions.
Goes all the way back to
Because
that.
it goes to the late 90s.
That's when the legend was born.
Yeah, it was. New York Times called me Seattle's civic prankster, and.
By the way, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, there was an image of you with a giant killer whale in the back of your truck, and you were trying to like pawn it.
It was
Because you had medical bills, and that's why we made the whole fundraiser.
Right. Yeah, it was. I was desperate to make sure that this medical was paid, at least my insurance, and I wanted to pay it like 2 or 3 months in advance to allow my hip to heal. And so I put it in the back of the truck, driving it around, doing yard service, blowing and stuff. And I had offered $500, and I was going to give it if I would go hawk my blower. You know, I mean, forget that. I'm not going to, pawn off my tools. I need my tools, and I'm not going to give away the People's Whale for $500.
The People's Whale.
It's the People's
I
Whale,
love that.
and so now that
It's worth it. I'd sell the People's Whale for $1,000.
I was going anywhere from 35 to 5, and I didn't get any.
Did you get anywhere
I
close to that?
was close. I got
Really? What was the most offer?
2,500.
For who's going to buy it?
There was talk about sticking it on top of a casino sign.
Wow.
And I go, well, Fake Willie is not. He's not a gambling type, that wouldn't be the best.
This is the People's Whale.
This is
So what happened with
and she is now. It's a female orca. She's now at the Ballard Locks in Seattle, and she's on display with the history of how she came from Scotland to Seattle, and how the local KISW rock and roll listeners donated to the fund to bring this well and stick it in the Ballard Locks to use as a scarecrow, and we were calling it People Interested Saving Steelhead Sea Lions at the Ballard Locks.
Oh my God.
That's an acronym for something that was not very popular at the time.
What was the acronym stand for? I can't do the math.
Piss at the Locks. One last shot before you shoot.
Piss at the logs.
At the Locks. Ballard Locks.
Wow.
And we were going, give one last shot before you shoot, and the PTA moms just went ballistic. Oh, you need to take that down. So we did a vote on the air with the KISW rock and roll listeners, Bob Rivers, Twisted Radio, and we go, what do you think? Screw those politicians. You know what? The name stands. We support people interested. So we took a Democratic vote in the state. And so that's the history of it. And
Did
so,
it pass? Did the name remain?
Yeah, the listeners were, it was overwhelming. And so I called up the council members down at City Hall and I said, I just want you to know that you were outvoted and the name stands.
People's will stands.
That stands. People interested.
Sounds like you're just you're like a Seattle troll.
Well, I just troll around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a gardener. They know gardeners.
The legend was born. I could definitely see
You
how
know,
the legend was born.
and we've since then, being the local gardener, it's been called Como Chili, Rude Dog. The ladies would go, "Oh, Rude Dog, you want to go play some golf?" Oh,
They,
What?
they
this
say
is
that
the
too.
moms. The moms. It's actually funnier than stuff.
They say that?
Oh yeah. Oh, Rude Dog. Oh.
I cannot
I can't
imagine
imagine-
that.
yeah,
That goes
I
out the
can't
window.
imagine
There's
that
that,
one
I know.
right
I'm in the pickup truck, and it just that was something that's happened over the years. And but this humongous thing, it was a slip of the tongue. The smirk. If you only knew what I was thinking in my head on the smirk, I had to stop.
What was it? Let's get in the mind.
Well, I was thinking HM Teats.
H.M. Teats?
Mm-hmm.
That was-
My name is Hugh M. Teats.
Hugh M. Teats.
But what happened is,
Wait, what does that mean?
so I cut out the Teats and put Mungus slipped out of my mouth instead of going HM.
But what is
Hugh,
it? What was it supposed to be?
It
What's
was supposed to be humongous Teats.
Oh, humongous teats. That's still not that bad.
But I didn't say it. I was gonna. But I see. I was. When I said it, and when
really
I
not
said
that
it, I
bad.
backed off, and I get the smirk. And I said, "Don't say it." 'Cause she's just like, this is a domestic dispute. Seriously, looking ready to go to have a conniption fit, gone tizzy bad. And so I was just thinking about my hip, walking out that door, getting down the stairs, getting away from this battle axe. Young woman. And boy, then she kept egging me on.
She was looking. This is what they do. These social justice warriors. They go in there, and they're looking for any morsel of outrage they can find. And it almost doesn't even matter what you would have said.
I don't think so.
They're just there looking. They're like sifting for gold nuggets, and they just found something to latch onto, and you happen to be that.
You could have said Rudy.
My name's Rudy.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What's a Rudy?
Rudy? World?
Yeah.
Oh boy, then she would have been at my mom's house, giving her haranguing and stuff, and then get mom involved and those women on her block. Not very supportive of a young lady. They would not be very supportive. They'd be
So the
having.
immediate aftermath was not these guys. It was I'm like catching up a little bit.
I think
a little caught up.
I think the initial video of your confrontation. Just had a stroke. Confrontation. Pardon me. Was what blew up on the internet. It was huge on Reddit and everything, and a lot of people were talking about it. Like, look at this insane lady harassing this guy.
And
Well, she was.
posted it.
She posted.
She posted on her Facebook page,
Gotcha.
and then everyone was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you promote this? It makes you look insane." And she erased it, and then someone ripped it from Facebook, put it on YouTube, and the rest is history.
But at first you got hate, right?
Well, I did.
From
I was-
her group.
From her, what was interesting is that she did. Any time being a public figure or running for office, you usually get the hate. It's a social norm to get the haters. They'll call you out, or they'll walk by and spit on you or sneeze on you. On
You've never been spit on, have you?
And then, oh yeah, and then
Really?
not over this, but it happens. Taking a stance in Seattle,
Yeah.
in the crazy nutheads. And they're on both sides. I mean, it's not one side. One side. It's not. It's both sides.
Absolutely.
And it's Rudy in the middle. And I like my little place where I am, being the gardener. But
But initially, the reaction before it hit the internet was that Zarna and her friends posted it in their community to be like, look at this fucking guy who sexually harassed me, and the police kicked me out. So at first it was all hate on you.
Oh,
Did you-
totally.
Did you feel that before? Everyone was like, wait, hold on, this is backwards.
see, what I did is I actually took a complaint to the Office of Civil Rights.
You
to
did?
the ACLU. And I have my Arab friends from the Arab community that wanted me to get an attorney to sue her because they were really pissed
Well,
off.
you shouldn't be able to just
And,
accuse someone.
and no, and that they were calling it slanderous. And then when she started the anti-immigrant stuff, she didn't realize that there are people that come from outside of the country that live here now that ask me to take their kids and get them enrolled in Seattle Public Schools, or help their mom or their elders with medical and stuff like that. I don't have a problem doing that. I'm a gardener, flexible, and had no idea that I was a single dad, and she didn't have any idea that because I speak fluent English and I sound American, that I was Hispanic. And she tried to rip me. She tried to rip me down for anything and everything.
And
she
wrong.
couldn't. She
And
couldn't.
that was one of my favorite parts about that interaction, was that she's like, oh, are you, like, we saw recently the footage from inside the council, which I want to watch with you because we recently made a video about it. But my, like, dissecting the way they attacked you is really fascinating because at first they're like, oh, you're white. And then you're like, no, I'm not white. And so that doesn't make them feel like, oh, maybe I was wrong. They go, oh, then you're a token Hispanic. You're not white, but you're a token Hispanic. And it's like, you know, and then it's like, well, why do you want more police? And you're like, well, they help my daughter. It's like you have a legitimate answer to all their hit job questions. And it's like, their intention is so clear because it never makes them reconsider. It just makes them go full force more.
And there's so many of us in the Hispanic community that do call police when we need a problem because that's the right thing to do. We're not afraid of law enforcement. And the other thing is when people like her organization calls me a token for the whites and Hispanic, what it does is it dumbs down our kids. Because I'm telling the kids, hey, education. You know, if you can't read, you can't do the math, you can't do the science. You can't get a job and no money, no honey. We love that, Rudy. We love that, Bungus. That's good. I said, if you want the honey and you want the money, learn to read, do the math, and do the science. Listen to your teachers and your parents and have fun.
So what is it that by labeling you as a token, like token Hispanic, how does it undermine that?
She can't. I mean, it's just her own opinion, and her little groupies over here that try to push it, and they try to push it on everybody across the board. And I really, and it's hard to stand up to them because they'll go as far as to want to boycott a business or rip their family members.
Label you a sexual assaulter.
And thank God that I have enough diversity around me that knows who I am. I mean, if I did something wrong, I would have, arrest me, hold me accountable. But this case, she was off her nut, crazy, and I don't mean anything hard will or mean spirited toward her, but she could probably use a diversity training for herself in learning about others. And if she's going to practice what you preach, sister. The most important thing is she did have some legitimate things to talk about when it comes to women issues, and I understand it.
Right.
It's a no-brainer, but you can't shove it down my throat and say that I don't care.
Well, not in the way she did. That's not how you have a debate. And like when they were there presenting their case at the city council, they're like, we don't think that we should spend $200 million on a police station. We can spend this money in a better way. Which is like, that's a valid point.
And I agree. I actually agree with that. I did. When I went there, it wasn't primarily for the precinct. I just happened to show up and had to do with the precinct. We'd been talking about it, but that number skyrocketed versus what it was before because of special interest wanting. It was like maybe right around $80 million in the beginning, $90 million. And then other special interests want a community club and a community room and stick grass on top, and then a place where they can work out with the cops. And that particular corridor is known for prostitution and heroin and drugs and trafficking women. And
you guys weren't even necessarily even in disagreement.
in
Just
some
came out.
aspects, she was there for her reason. I was there to thank the North Precinct, and I had no idea there was a protest.
Interesting.
I just showed up to a protest.
You walked
And
into a freaking.
then I look at the, because I actually was ready to leave. I was going to take off because I didn't want to have kind of a ship stir happen in that. And I saw I was like 13th on the list, and I go, well, you know what, I'll just hang
Oh, you were
out.
13th
I was
on the
like
list.
13th on the list, so I can hang. So I sat amongst them in the beginning, and I had a council staffer come up to me and shake my hand and say, "How's your daughter?" The council staffer knew why I was there, and then when it came time to look at my interest, they all bailed on me. I couldn't even get the video from them. I had to look it up. Yeah, because I had seen city council wouldn't.
Why do you suppose that is?
They didn't. I don't think they wanted it to get out.
It got out.
It got out finally. Yeah,
And it was fascinating.
It was because there were two sides that happened before that exchange, and even the exchange before I went on with Como News Television, she was harassing me and myself and the reporter from Como ABC. And I said, "Miss, back off. I'll talk to you after." I told her, "Please back off."
Yeah.
Because it's and then she had her camera right in. But anyway, it's. I have to think. I really swear. I think the kids that saw that video were the ones in Seattle, across the country, and around the world stood up for me when my own city hall left me, abandoned me in favor of something that was truly injustice and wrong. I mean, nobody has. It's not fair for anybody to go in and try to testify and express themselves in a democratic process. It just hacks. I'm going to use the word hack. It hacks me off to no end.
Absolutely.
And I don't kid yourself. I really wanted to call her an F and B, but I didn't. I held off and held back.
It's such a wonderful thing you didn't do that. I think that if you, first of all, I think you would have been justified saying that. But the fact that you didn't really held you up to such a higher level than her is what made the whole battle so symbolic and wonderful. But like what was happening in the city council really was, I was in disbelief when I saw that recent video, because you're just a guy who went to participate in our democratic process, which is something you don't really see in people these days. And the fact that like they don't even listen. They're there for ideological warfare. It's not like a fruitful debate. It's not like a civil society. It's a real symptom of like a disease, I feel like, in our culture, that you try to make a fruitful effort to debate and participate in democracy, and you're faced with that. It's insane.
What I've noticed is it's the same people going to the same meetings, whether it's a council chamber meeting or community meeting, they bum rush them. And then they take over the hearing and don't allow people to speak who may not agree with them.
Wow.
I mean, it happens all the time, and we've lost people who have had great ideas to say, "I'm going to bag this. I'm sick of it." And we even had several business owners that were boycotted, who stepped away from ownership to protect their businesses. And they came after me. They came after it. And what's interesting, there are council staffers that hand out the list of different meetings, and it gets sent out shotgun approach through to the different groups, whether it's anarchists or in other special interest groups.
Right.
And then we get I've been blacklisted. They've I'm a threat to.
Yeah,
and I mean, come on, I'm a charter, a schmuck in a
All
truck.
your pictures and stuff in like a cafe.
Oh my god!
Man,
Oh my gosh! Running for Seattle City Council and going around the different forum and events. Hey, Hazel, yeah, Martha, you know that man's a sexual harasser.
Yeah.
Scarlet Letter. Scarlet,
And I'm all coy. I'm
Rooting with the freaking shamu in the back of his car, a threat to national security.
Jeez,
Hawaii.
It's fucking, no, Kauai. How do you say Kauai?
Kauai.
Kauai.
I'll never say
Get the
that.
accent right.
I'm not even going to give you a
Kauai.
second chance.
But what do you think's going on with the city council? Because it seems like, in a way, this mafia, it's almost like a mafia of outrage at this point. Are they like, they're putting so much pressure on them? Do you think they're just like don't even want to deal with their insanity? So in a way, they're influencing them. Do you think that they're genuinely influencing them? Or it's more influence of I don't want to deal with this mafia. I'm scared of this mafia.
Somehow they've gotten entrenched with other special interest, and what we're going to see coming in 2018 is more Seattle shenanigans. And if I was a comic, if I was a comedian,
You are.
I would definitely feed off their agenda, and because there's money to be made off that Seattle City Council just doing different spoofs or twisted things. Everything. It is insane. I mean, I actually spoke with the chairwoman that was at the meeting that cut me off, tried to talk to her last week in West Seattle at a forum. I cannot talk to you about this. I'm really busy. And
I can totally
you know,
understand.
and you know what? I can't be associated with you because I'm worried about what the others may think, Rudy. You know, I can tell the vibe. Excuse me, but you know what? You're a threat to my campaign. We can't have people like you. I said, you're Hispanic.
You gotta get it faced with a camera.
That's what
put
you
it on
do.
World Star Hip Hop.
You need to get in her face and film her and say, you, if you do not talk to me, I will tell the world you're a sexer harasser and you grab my penis. Just say it. And then you gotta play their game, right?
Well, the following meeting, she showed up. The other lady, the social justice, showed up, and she got kicked out of the council meeting. She actually got kicked out.
I saw that
And
one too.
she attacked. She went after that councilwoman, and went after the African American council chairman, the president of the council. And he kicked her out. He had enough. And but there are so many of them that think they can go in and disrespect the process. And I've always been somebody to respect the process. I don't care whether it's public or private. You know, there's two sides. It's not one way.
That's how it works. That's what was so traumatic to watch that city councilman. You have to respect the process. That's how it works. I mean, I don't know. One side's respecting it and one side's not. They're interrupting you. They're screeching.
Did you want to watch it?
Yeah, I do want to watch that.
That sounds like the good or the bad. Isn't that for a few dollars more a Clint Eastwood movie? That Screech.
Screech.
You know, there's a Screech in that movie.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
No.
I've seen the movie, but the screech doesn't
The
stand
Screech
out.
where I think Tuco, or what's his name, is Clint leaves him hanging on the tree, and then he shoots the rope off, and he falls down to the ground. And then I think there's a screech in there. That's what it reminded me of. I think that's that look. I turned around because I
what
heard
wanna
the
ask
screech.
you. I have so many questions about that video.
What?
I do want to watch it, but I want to ask. Yeah, you want to watch it now? So if you guys don't know what we're talking about,
You guys don't know.
yeah, there was basically a new video that came out a couple of weeks ago that hit the internet. I guess you were trying to get it and they wouldn't give it to you. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, they were just. I don't know where you can get the video.
It's crazy because it literally is so one-sided. And to be even completely frank, before I had access to this video, I did wonder what happened in there because they were so upset, and I was like, I wonder if Rudy made some kind of remark that upset them. I wondered that if there was two sides to the story, because usually there aren't. I'm a skeptical person, but getting this footage and seeing it, I was just like completely exonerated in my mind, 100%. Like, man, they are so rude and out of
You don't
line.
hear half of the stuff that they were saying where I was trying to speak, and I mean it was pretty. I mean I'm tough as nails. You know, nothing like hitting a rock with a weed eater right in the freaking between the eyes.
Does that happen?
Hell yeah. Or hitting cat pies out there in the garden, and that's just the nasty.
Where's the pie? Oh, dog shit.
No, not dog. Cat's the worst.
Cat shit?
Oh no, that is just it's worse than human, worse than dog.
What's so bad
worse
about
than
cat shit?
It has just it just sticks for a week.
Yeah,
It goes
it's
into
like
the skin.
cement.
It goes into the skin, and then you can taste it coming out of the
Oh,
mouth. and it's
God.
Just, it is.
What?
It is. It
Wait,
really is.
how?
Hold on. Let's get into this.
This is
Yeah.
just.
So you're talking about you're hitting the lawn with the weed whacker.
Yeah,
and
whack-
you explode cat shit everywhere. It's like a bomb.
Ugh. It gets right on the nose. It gets right here in the cheek, and it goes through the cheek
Why
and
is
down.
that anything gross
Oh
always
my
goes
God.
like straight for the mouth and the eyes?
Right.
It's like there's like it's got like a mind of its own.
Yeah. Well, Hila's brother has a theory that water is a conscious being, and I wonder if that has anything to do with the shit getting in your mouth.
Yeah, it wants to go back home.
It was like tuckered in underneath a leaf on the grass, and I'm going, that looks kind of fishy down there. I'll just screw it. I'll just hit it. Oh, no, I should have. And then it get it on the lawnmower wheel. That's even worse because it travels with us everywhere we go. I mean, it's just.
You're telling me the cat shit it penetrates your skin and then travels into your mouth. Is that what you're saying?
Through the mucus, through the body.
Your body absorbs it.
And I can actually taste it coming out
just
of my
from it touching
just
your
from
skin.
touching the
That's
skin.
fucked.
It's like
We gotta
it'd be
try
like
this.
Yeah, we
you
gotta
know
try
what?
it.
Hey, it's like get one of those nicotine patches. It'd be
Right.
something like that.
It's like a
except
cat
it's
shit patch.
It's a cat patch.
I wonder if that's a marketable product.
Putty pat cat.
Putty pad cat. Mm.
Now on the
Vegetable.
H3 Production store.
New merch available, guys.
Putty pads.
Putty pads. Anyway, that was a great tangent. Why are your cats such disgusting creatures? I hate cats. I hate their spit. Their piss smells like poison. Have you owned a cat?
I don't like cat.
Have you ever been around a cat?
I've been.
You know,
I've been sprayed by them.
okay, so you know.
I mean,
what I'm
I didn't
talking
know
about.
that. I know now how they.
Their piss smells like chemical warfare.
Yeah. Not even their tongues are cool. Their tongues are
what?
like spiky hairbrushes.
Yeah.
I slurred that.
Fuck cats.
Fuck cats.
Moving on. So anyway, this is the video we're talking about. This is the epic prequel to The Humongous Journey. Can we hear it in here, Dan? Do I need to turn up the TV?
What?
Oh, okay. All right, let's
Go.
go.
Jr. I live in the North End. Grew up in the North End. We moved here in 1969. Grew up on 109th and Aurora. I am totally for a safe, learning, healthy environment in the North End.
So the North End, you're saying, is a kind of a rough place.
The North End is it's a population that covers over a third of the population of Seattle.
Okay.
Maybe even closer, almost maybe half.
Wow.
And we're underserved in the North End. And it's
You live
become-
there?
I live. Yeah.
Oh, that's your hood.
It's my neighborhood, and I've seen changes over it since the years I've grown up there, and of course I'm going to defend. And we just recently had a young man steal 84-year-old grandma's purse off the street. He was a known addict, and everybody's looking for him. And somebody sent me a post from New Jersey about it being humongous. It's cool. I get this post. I go, God, I know him, and I send it over. And we know him, and been trying to get him help for a while.
Interesting.
And can't get him help, but that's the kind of thing I like to do is as I'm gardening, see somebody down, hey, there's services for you. Are you ready for it? Okay, then you're not ready, go to jail. I mean, that's it. You one or the other. And it's the same way if I came and jacked you up and or Gila up or you up, and because I'm going out to get a fix.
I'd like
Oh
it.
well, that's
You know
what? Hey, well, you know what? Let's forgive him because it's not his fault. It's all your fault that you happen to be there.
Right.
No. It doesn't work that way.
Well, you're basically moving for more support, more facilities. I mean, there's no precinct in your neighborhood.
We have one little one.
Okay.
And it is outlived its ability to take care of our needs
Got
in the
it.
North End, and nothing would be it'd be a lot better sticking a precinct, maybe definitely not the one that they plan to build. That one is ginormous.
It's like a military base.
I
by the
mean,
sound of
it's just too many special interest people wanting to spend extra dollars
Gotcha.
that we don't have.
I'm fascinated by the fact that you actually agree with her on that spending point.
I actually do. I mean,
But she wouldn't fucking shut up enough to actually listen and find that you guys have common ground, like most people do.
No, there's no way. I mean, I don't even think we could have it now because I'm an eternal oppressor. I use words that toward hate that against women.
Forgot
of
about the
color.
eternal
Yeah.
oppression.
Is that what does that mean?
Oh man, there was a whole great
I didn't look that one up, too.
Internal or eternal?
internal.
Internal.
So,
Internal.
gosh, I almost don't even remember the definition. We made a whole video about it because she made a
Internal
response.
oppressor.
Yeah, internal oppression.
It's just about how if I don't think that it's being sexist, I think then like I'm internally oppressed.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
Okay.
Wait, what?
Like if
It's
as
subtle
a-
oppression.
Like
as
if I'm
a-
not offended that
yeah,
you
if
called
I'm
yourself
not offended,
humongous,
then she
there's something
thinks,
wrong with me.
Yeah, right.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
right. So it's this whole fucked up notion that women who aren't outraged by Ruby's behavior, then they're internally oppressed. So it's like you are being oppressed, you just don't know it.
Yeah.
So she made this whole video
Yeah.
calling out to the whole female population, saying you're internally oppressed.
Yeah.
It's like they
Seems
do.
like
They have amazing mental
maybe
gymnastics.
save that for when it works. Like I'm sure there's examples of that
It is
being
interesting.
a thing. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
there's
Like,
probably like a woman
maybe-
who's still a fan of Bill Cosby.
M-
There might be a little bit of
Ma-
that going on.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Then again,
with-
he didn't
What
do
she
it, but-
did is she totally cheapened
Yeah.
what truly sexual harassment is,
Exactly.
Right.
or even somebody that is sexually abused. I mean, it's just
Absolutely.
if you're gonna say something,
Yeah.
say something legitimate,
Absolutely.
not over Ruby.
It's
for
in no
Ballard.
way
I mean, that's
applicable
just a bunch
to
of
you.
crap.
No, that is such an important
And
point
then
too.
you talk to the kids, and when they want to teach the kids this stuff, they're wanting to get into Seattle Public Schools and teach social justice warriorism.
God,
I go,
that's-
I go, you got to be kidding me! I couldn't believe it. I learned this on the campaign.
Lesson 1, kids.
Okay.
Outrage. What is outrage
think
and when
we're
to
live.
experience it?
Alright.
That's
All
when-
the time.
That's when you wear a humongous T-shirt
This
in school
is
the
my
first day of school,
stream.
and
I'm
they
gonna
go,
try
"What is
my-
that? You can't wear that, kids."
You got
Jeez.
like a big.
You're